I'm joined by Kilkenny star Katie Power. We're here at the launch of the Littlewoods Ireland Camogie Leagues. Katie, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
No, not at all. Are you looking forward to getting back in action this weekend?
Yeah, I think everybody's looking forward to getting back in action. It's been a long time. Since, December now. Sure, the middle of December we were looking up to be finished up. So it's been a long winter, I suppose, as such. So it's coming right for teams now. The longer evenings, the nicer weather, and the ground is hard. So I think everyone's buzzing to get back out and play.
I know, obviously a tough year for yourself personally last year doing the cruise ship. Are you hopping off the sod?
No, not yet. Not back training collectively as of yet, but I'm back on the grass and happy to be back that far. To be honest, so yeah, look, it's been a bit of a nightmare last year, but I'm looking forward to this year now. Things have gone relatively okay rehab wise, so please God, during the summer I'll be definitely looking to get back and back on the playing field with everybody. So another 4 to 6 weeks hopefully wouldn't see me too far away anyway.
Can you give me your experience of the All Ireland final last year and watching the girls get the job done?
Uh, yeah, look, it was, I suppose, a day of mixed emotions, and I always said last year, like, I didn't want sympathy. I didn't want it to be about me. And the reason I play team sports is to be part of a team. It's not about one individual. And I suppose I had enough hours in the day on my own to feel sorry for myself. But when I was with them and as part of the group, going up training and going to the matches, I wanted to be as positive around the group as I could. And I suppose there was a huge sense of pride at getting over the line because I think the years previous, obviously losing the three in a row, and there's a good core group there that has lost 5, 6 All Irelands, and the easy thing would have been to just give up or throw the hat at it and or start fighting amongst yourselves and blaming this, that, and the other. But everybody stayed at it, and for the group itself to get over the line in the manner of the year that it was, I think there was a huge sense of pride, and I was so glad to be there that day because obviously everything going on last year, there was certain members of the panel that wasn't allowed to go to the games, like, so at least I was there and I wasn't watching from home. And it was difficult as well, for the girls. Obviously it was thoroughly enjoyable, but there was no sharing the memories with their families, or their friends or anything. So it was nearly 3 weeks of being All Ireland champions. It was January again, and when January rolls around, everyone's thinking about the year coming, I suppose. So it was short lived, but everyone's just dying to get back on the field and start playing matches again. They've been long enough training by themselves now. It was a long and dark winter and tough going training by yourself, as every GA player knows over the last few months. But as I said, I think everybody's looking forward to getting out and playing the games now, and looking forward to the Littlewoods National Leagues coming up.
Yeah, and like, what do you think was the difference in terms of you getting over the line last year after losing three in a row? And of course, Brian Dowling came in, but it'd be doing a disservice to Anne Downey to suggest it was just a new manager coming in. But like, what do you think the factors were?
I think there was a good few factors, and I'd hate to say it was because of the COVID that we won the All Ireland, like, but there was a small factor in, the break definitely done. As I said, there's a good core group of players there that have been on the go a long time, and we've been through a fair lot, of disappointments, I suppose, if you want to put it like that. And I think the break of it genuinely done everyone out the world of good in terms of our own camp. Other factors, like, you don't want to, like, single out managements. Obviously Anne was superb, but like Tommy Shefflin coming in as a hurling coach was absolutely top notch. And there was no such thing as flogging us running coming back. It was just all hurling, a heads up hurling. It was attacking, and every day, I suppose, we were obviously, confidence levels would have been low when the lads came in, but I'm not exaggerating to say that every single training session, they just tell us to believe in ourselves, that we don't realise how good we are, and, to believe in ourselves every day we go out. And, they're still telling us that this year since we've come back. And I suppose when someone's telling you that, every training, like just to believe in yourselves as individuals and as a group. It does kind of feed down through it. And, I think other years previous, if we had to be 6, 7 points down in an All Ireland semi-final after 5 or 6 minutes, I don't think we might have come back in the manner that we have. So yeah, like I think there was definitely a lot of contributing factors to it. And I think with the season being so condensed as well, if you start building up a bit of momentum, it's really hard to be stopped within that short period. It's not stop start like it was previous years. So there's a lot to be said for that as well.
And you did it the hard way last year too, beating Cork and Galway. So there'd be no questions over, getting handy All
Yeah,
Ireland.
I know, yeah. Like it was a great way for the team to win it, especially as I said, as the years previous, like we had been beaten by both those teams in All Ireland finals. So, fair dues to the girls, like they battled hard.
And how much focus do you put on the league? It wasn't completed last year, of course, because of COVID-19. So Galway are defending the title that they won in 2019.
Yeah, look, I think all teams are going to be going out, to get as much game time as possible before the championship, because like the championship's starting in July and it's going to be run off in a space of 8 to 10 weeks. Like, so the more competitive games you get before that time, I think it's going to be really important for match fitness, match sharpness alone. There's only 2 group games, so if you're only going to play 2 games before a championship, like, it's fine, it's grand, but I definitely do think the more competitive games you get before championship is a plus. And at the end of the day, it's a national title. Like, there's none of us going to be batting it away. It's there to be won. And I think a lot of teams are going to be itching. Tipperary were going to be in the final last year and then it got called off, so they're going to be mad to get back into it again this year. And obviously, as you said, Galway are there to retain their title now, something that I don't think they've done in quite a while in terms of retaining their league status. Like, so they're going to be gunning for that as well.
We spoke a while back, and I think it was April maybe last year, and you were telling me a story about playing with your brothers Martin and Jamie growing up, and the damage you used to do around the house. Could you give me a refresher on that?
Oh Jesus, I'd say if we said it again now, the parents would be going mad. But sure, like we used to be just out hurling constantly, and maybe it's a Kilkenny thing, or yeah, it probably is a Kilkenny thing. But there was one summer, and it was what, like 15 years or more, 20 years ago probably, and everyone kind of had small panes of glass back then in their windows instead of like big windows. And I remember one summer there was something like 16 panes broken, so they ended up just stop fixing the glass in the windows, because like they said, what's the point, like trying to get broken again. So for the whole summer, like I'd say if anyone drove past our house, they would have thought we were absolute to stay at that house with all the broken windows in it. But I don't know if it's a poor reflection on myself and my brother poking around or what, but that's something we're reminded of fairly consistently anyway.
Yeah, I think that kind of happens in houses where there's kids playing hurling all the time. You can't help but have that happen. Just to touch on some of like your influences growing up, who would have been your main influences?
I suppose like my parents would have been massive influences. They sacrificed a huge amount for myself and my brothers growing up, and they brought us everywhere. Like anything we wanted to do, they were there to look out for us. And maybe at the time we always mightn't have agreed, but I think the older you get, you realise on the influence that they've had on our lives for the obviously for the right reasons. And it's something now that you look back on with huge gratitude, because you can never repay them for that. And still to this day, I remember when I got injured, like I text one of my brothers and see how the form was at home, like when the news broke, and Jamie texted me back about my father. He said, well, there's a picture, but there's no sound. So they were nearly taking it as bad, I suppose, as anyone else. But that's it. Like they take the good things and they celebrate with you when the good things come. But I suppose they're the only people that really do see, when the bad things happen. They're the ones that are always there for you. And, I remember last winter, like for 10, 12 weeks, I genuinely couldn't even get into bed by myself. I couldn't make a cup of tea. And, my mum and my dad and my two brothers were you know, they were saviours, like they genuinely were, and I do owe them big time for that. And again, they'll be reminding me of it for a good while, I'd say. But it's small things like that, you know. You always have people there for you when the times are good, but you realise who's always there for you when the times are bad as well.
Yeah, I'm going to run through a few Q&A questions, which you can answer them as quickly or as long as you like. What do you remember your first time at Croke Park?
Playing or
No, even as a kid.
Kilkenny were playing. I don't even know who they were playing, and it was my first time ever in Croke Park. I was really small, and my dad brought me and Martin to the game, and we were sitting up the very back row in the Cusack upper, and I was afraid of my life. I couldn't see anything. They were all like butterflies on the field there. I was so far up. That was my first remembrance of it, I think.
Okay, who's your favourite player of all time?
DJ Carey.
Yeah. Oh, you told me you got this. You get the same helmet as him, don't you?
When I was small, yeah, they got me a black Hooper because like I was just obsessed with DJ. Like he was the best thing ever. I know he was fair class though.
Yeah, he was, to be fair, and that's a tip man saying it. Who's the most famous person who follows you online?
Oh Jesus. Oh God, I don't know.
You can't say a Kilkenny hurler now.
I don't actually. I haven't a clue now. I'd have to go through the phone, but
we'll leave it another time. Who's your toughest opponent and why?
Claire Phelan from Kilkenny, Liz Downey. She's a nightmare to mark because you think you might have the ball or you might have it, and she's unreal for flicks and anything and hooks. Like you might think again you're away from her, and she'll always hook you or block you. I think it's great. Yeah, she definitely been my toughest opponent. Yeah.
All these can be club or county now, by the way. The team you most like to beat?
Most like to, sorry?
What team do you most like to beat?
There
has to be a rival. Yeah, there has to be a rival you like to stick it to. What's your proudest day playing?
So I have two. So 2016 All Ireland with Kilkenny, and we won the club All Ireland with my club the year previous in intermediate level.
What's your favourite stadium?
Nolan Park.
Best atmosphere you've played in?
2016 semi-final in Thurles, and Kilkenny were playing Waterford after us in the replay in the All Ireland semi-final.
What's been the biggest disappointment of your career?
Probably last year, I'd say, to be honest. That would be personal disappointment, not team disappointment.
Who's the joker on your panel?
Jeez, we have too many, I'd say. Biggest joker, Denise Gall would be one of them. Spud Crowley. Tommy Shefflin would be a fair old joker now himself.
Okay, who's the best trainer?
Sure, I'd have to say that the management this year, so I get a game if I come back.
Who's the best dressed?
Best dressed.
You know what the next question is going to be.
These are so hard. I'll think of all the answers to these now when I'm finished.
Well, you're going to have to go for somebody.
Yeah, 1 second. Now, just give us the. Claire Phelan, I'd say.
Okay, and who's the worst?
Oh, who's the worst? I actually don't know.
No, if it was lads,
if
it was lads, I'd say who wears the bootcut jeans or something like that. But I don't know what the female equivalent of bootcut jeans is. Who loves the media attention?
I'd probably get slag for that, but I'll have to say someone else. I'll just say Grace.
Yeah, who thinks the men love them?
Who thinks what loves them?
That the men love them.
Oh my God, these questions are ridiculous.
I asked the lads the same questions. They're well able for it.
Yeah, but sure. Spud Crowley, okay. I have to say.
Is there a player from another sport you admire?
Yeah, like the most, I know it's probably the most obvious one, but Katie Taylor.
Okay. And any manager from another sport you admire?
Mick Bowen from the Dublin Ladies Footballers.
Okay. That's about the height of it. The grilling is over, so thanks very much, Katie Power. Appreciate it.
Okay. No bother. Thanks very much.